they had to learn diplomacy, and that is the accurate means. Because also you have people who are involved in teaching Quran, but they cannot, or they're unable, or they don't, though they say, what I heard with my own ears, the individual say that he does not have time to learn how to properly pronounce, or he does not have time to simply critique or to discuss pronunciation in Surah Al-Fatiha, and that was absolutely unacceptable. So the president was told that this man and all those who are serving there need to learn how to be diplomatic. Okay, so that was at the center. The other thing that is clear is that the entire staff needs to be, revamped. Unfortunately, because those who are actually at the head of this program are simply unqualified to direct the president. Period. And the president himself is unfortunately and has demonstrated that inaccuracy as well, or inadequately capable. Even the term inshallah, just stretching it with an alif, the sheen being stretched with the alif, he could not do that, and I'm sure he could not spell the word in Arabic, and that is a humiliation. And then on top of that, he refused practically, based off of the recommendations of, again, these disqualified people who should be teaching the Quran. Again, one of them having questions about the sound of a sukoon. He takes advice from them not to help those who are struggling with the memorization of the Quran, or with the program, or even those who have been socially disadvantaged. It's like, again, when you get into the position of power, you practically think and you practically feel and sense that it's just time to increase more and more of your influence, of whatever you think is most important. But it was made very clear that it was unacceptable. The Quranic Revolutionary Guard will not tolerate such humiliation from any party whatsoever, and this is okay. This is the center off of Beaufort Road. That is the center. That everybody else who's listening understands that. But to get back to it, not only the imam, it had to be made clear. It had to be made clear in front of the president's office, with the imam being a witness, telling him that we're not here to butt kiss, we're not here to brown nose, we are not here to ask for any compensation, we're not here to seek for any show, any recognition from people. We are here for the Quran, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, period. And that we will definitely make it noted that this particular insinuation, which is an insinuation of crime against the Quran, has taken place on those grounds under such administration. So, and again, you actually have very clear indication that whenever a black person, unfortunately a black man, becomes in charge of anything, when they step it up, the first thing that they do is change colors. And that's exactly what this president did. He got into office and he's really forgetting the deprived. He does not care, just like those who are actually there. And this is not something that was not said, prophesied, I should say, 25 years ago, when a similar situation took place at the center. Back then, you had the likes of Dr. who is belated now, Dr. Nazir Chaudhry. You had him, and you actually had another group by Sheikh Adnan from Saudi Arabia, the students who were here studying at VCU from Riyadh and other parts of the Hijaz, was supportive of this type of ideology getting completely out of the way. And that is the political thing. Everything is a show. And when people call to shows, they're calling in association with Allah. They may not realize it, but in the Fatiha, Iyaka na'budu, in you alone we worship. That worship alone, when you create show, you are creating what is known as a means of attractiveness to something or someone. If it's not to Allah, it's an association to Allah, and people do it mainly for themselves. And that's what politics in today is all about. And they make promises and they break them the next day. And that's exactly what this president did. He made a promise 2 days before, the next day he broke it. And of course, when you look at the other aspect of it, where when you trust them, you trusted them with your word, what do? They break your trust too. That's exactly what this president did as well. And then, of course, you have a third or a second narrative of this particular scenario where you cite the fourth indication where they actually incite instigation, or they're high in instigating and getting people to go up at each other. And this president did it too. So all the colors are there, and it's completely, guess what? Unacceptable. The Quranic Revolutionary Guard called in the Soleimani Brigade, also calling in the Jibrili, the Mikaeli, mystical and spiritual division arriving on spot, saying absolutely not. The Quranic declaration was declared in 2021. That meant that any atrocities that took place not only on the Quran, but also on the Quranic personnel will be taken in account and also be responding accordingly. And that's the reason for that indication, and that indication alone, the Lieutenant Senior Commander Saul and his battalion arrived.
If you can answer one question, why, if you are so critical of the West End Masajid, like you talked about the Islamic Center of Masjid al-Falah, then why don't you just go to Masjid Abu Bakr? Okay, that's because they changed the name, is that it?
Okay, so first of all, we need to get the retired imam's response on that. I personally cannot. I am on nobody. I'm only delivering the message on behalf of the republic, this young republic of the Shahada. But definitely, from what we're getting, yes. So as far as, again, the masjid known as Masjid Abu Bakr, and we have it saying that they're connected to Masjid Abuji, and I think you found that before. TMOA, as well as that particular masjid, has been connected in a similar scam or scheme. One can definitely claim that to be a secondary reason. The primary reason being just simply, why change the name from the name of Allah to the name of an individual? What was the purpose of that? Look, Allah Ta'ala has 99 attributes, 99 names. Each name has another 99. Excuse me, okay? You ask a question, unless you want to answer your own question. I am giving you that in which the coalition forces are giving me. So if you do not want it, then I can allow you to answer your own question. Do you want to answer your own question?
Yes. I'll tell you why you don't go. So you don't go.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You can speak for yourself. If you don't go, you can say why you don't go. Or if you go, you can say why you go. But you have absolutely no right to tell me why I am or not going. I'm sorry. That is unacceptable. So let's try something else, okay? And with respect and professionalism, please.
Listen, let me rephrase. Okay, you already refuted on the fact about the masjid's name, okay? Let's not even get into that, because it'll just keep going on that same endless.
Okay, so what we have about the masjid name is your fabrication. You fabricated. Omar Quinn is the one who changed the masjid's name, or his departure is the reason behind the change of the masjid name, right?
I said the name changed after you left.
Okay, you still did not say why it actually took place, and that's the question. You just went on fabricating things. So that's what we're saying is unacceptable, okay?
He did not change it.
Okay, first of all, excuse me. First of all, as far as, the topic of the masjid, you are not in a position to discuss it. We have 25 years of being involved with that masjid, and you barely have 10 or 6. So you do not have the right, okay? Let's talk about what you have directly insinuated to the question of the Quranic Revolution, the Republican Guard, or any of the Boise and their affiliates. We will get you what it is that you want response to. You also have the right to make any secondary statements on the reports of you falsifying, Mr. Kareem, falsifying the debate reports and so on. These type of things. So, but otherwise, as far as these, other areas of expertise, is that you've been clearly outgunned there. In other words, those matters are put to rest. But in actuality, I think this is suffice. We have had a great conversation. And I'm glad we could clarify this. And please do not think. And lastly, please, we mentioned before, do not think that we will allow ourselves to be misrepresented by anyone. We are pro-Quran, pro-Quranic life forever. Okay? We only pray to Jalla Jalaluhu for two outcomes, either Jannatul Firdausi, okay, or victory. And we will prefer the former one than the latter one. Thank you very much. Okay?
What are the 3 layers of Tawheed? Answer.
Come again?
What are the 3 layers of Tawheed? The 3 types of Tawheed.
Okay. So you're asking about Tawheed, Uluhiyya, Rububiyyah, Asma wa Sifat. Okay, Mr. Kareem, inshallah, we will have to have this conversation. You probably want to look at this particular recording will be available probably tomorrow, inshallah, okay?
We're trying to criticize people. Yeah, you don't know the basics of Tawheed.
Okay, you mean to tell me that you do not see those 3 elements of Tawheed, Rububiyyah, Uluhiyya, and Asma wa Sifat? If you do not see that, is this a quiz time for you or for me?
Oh, so you just looked it up.
Astaghfirullah. As a matter of fact, there was no way I could do that. But that is a simple one. It's in my work study book that I wrote but did not yet publish. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Subhanallah, brother. Look, I'm literally saying something. Subhanallah.